Have you heard about AFL?
I think AFL stands for Australian Football League.
What do you know about AFL?
I think it's only played in Australia at the moment, and it's very much like rugby and football all mixed together. It's a lot faster even than our rugby. Good game to watch.
What do you think of it?
I think it's really exciting because it's fast, they're extremely fit, good atmosphere, great game.
Have you ever seen a game live or on TV?
I've seen both.
Which one do you prefer?
The live one because the atmosphere was amazing.
Do you have a favourite team and a team you dislike?
No, not really, but my relatives in Australia follow Hawthorn and Melbourne. So those would be my two favourite teams, of course. Don't have one that I dislike.
Do you think the sport could pick up in this country?
I'd like to see it in this country. It would be a good alternative to rugby and football.
What made you get into AFL?
Because a long time ago I went to watch a match, and it was a very exciting, fast-moving game with spectacular leaps, long kicks, and very athletic players.
Well, a couple of things. It's a very commonly, it is the main football code in Victoria, where we live. So if you're following any kind of football, AFL is the obvious one to choose because it's the one that everybody played back then. There's much more variety now, but back then AFL was the one and only football code. But apart from that, it's actually a really, really good game to watch. So that makes it a lot of fun.
Do you prefer watching the game live or on TV?
Oh, definitely live. Much more exciting.
They're both good for different reasons. Maybe live.
Yeah.
I think live. On TV you get a lot of close-ups, but now because of the big screen where they do the close-ups anyway, and they do some of the main replays of key important stuff, then you get the best of both worlds. You also get the atmosphere, which is fantastic.
Do you have a favourite team and a team you dislike?
Hawthorn is the team that I like very much, and my absolute hate team is Geelong.
My favourite team, of course, the Demons, Melbourne.
Do you have a favourite player and a player you dislike? They can be past and present.
My two favourite players are Lee Matthews, who I think is the best player of all time. He's from a few decades ago, but the current player who's actually now just retired, who I think is my favourite, is Luke Hodge. Dislike, yes. Tom Hawkins, who's got a nickname of Tomahawk. He plays for that Geelong rabble at full forward and is a big lug. Yeah, he always has this smug, sneery look on his face. That's what I think anyway.
Rob Flower was a Melbourne footballer from quite some time ago, but he was a standout, absolute standout, absolutely amazing what he was able to do. And a guy that I prefer, our big ruckman, lovely fellow, but also fantastic player, Maxie Hall.
Final question. Do you think the sport's popularity could pick up in a country such as England?
I actually probably think no, because between soccer and rugby, or the round ball game, which is so strong in the UK, and rugby I believe is also very strongly followed, I don't know that there's room for another highly successful big number team. You'll get small pockets of people, expatriates and people who want to play their version of a game, but I could never see it growing really big.
I think it would, in that it actually is a really good spectator sport, and it requires a really good athleticism to be able to play it. So it requires a lot of skill. And I think people really enjoy watching a game of skill that's also quite a good spectator sport, because there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of scoring compared with soccer. And so I think from that perspective, it would have a really good following. However, the challenge for the game, I think, to make any inroads into the UK would be that there are already some very strong football codes that you play. So people are loyal to their football codes, and therefore to be loyal to another football code can be quite hard if you're the new chum trying to break in. So how successful they would be, I'm not sure. But with all the right money behind it and the right promotion behind it, I think it could become successful. And the reason for that is, I've got an example in Melbourne. Nobody followed anything except for AFL. And then they tried to introduce rugby, and everyone went poo-poo, but they really promoted it well. They put in some high-quality players into the Melbourne team, and now there's a really strong following for the Melbourne Storm, and they are a top-quality team. So, yes, I think it's possible. It could make a breakthrough if enough money and the right players are poured into the competition, and young people are taught how to play the game, so there are future people coming through that want to go and watch and want to play the game.